Hello, welcome back. So I find these introductory speeches the hardest part of the video actually. And the reason why one of the reasons why I started with this home practice series is to take the pressure off. So it's me practicing and you participating, also practicing at your home or wherever you are, and I can convey knowledge to you. I can to make it less serious, because what we're doing is quite serious. Actually, it's quite academic in a way. It isn't actually. It isn't. They want it to be academic, but it isn't. Isn't that funny? I just realized that. It could be academic, but it isn't. So the reason why I'm doing this home practice series is to take the pressure off and make it less serious. Did I already say that? Is it? Okay. So it is recording. So can we continue please with our lesson? And the lesson we started yesterday with coming from lying supine, lying on the back, up to sitting. And there's a lot to talk about and a lot to explore and to do. So let's get on to it. Let's get on the floor, get the work done. So like yesterday, for this lesson, you will need a lot of space. We need space. Sometimes we need space and sometimes we have to claim. Sometimes we have to claim our space. So that's today. Please come to lie on your back. So this lesson builds on top of yesterday's lesson. And yesterday, maybe you can remember, we started with the hands interlaced behind the back and then did little hops. The hops, hop and rest, until and then we changed we held our one hand behind the head, like for example, face to the left, the right hand on the left ear, and the left arm to 45 degrees, somehow like this, to the side. And then we started to peel ourselves off the floor and come to lean against the elbow. And then later with the straight arm, same movement with the straight arm. So already 3 variations, 3 things to work with: the side bending, coming up, rolling up to lean on the elbow, rolling up, lean on the elbow with the hand like this and the hand like that. And I got so much better in the last 24 hours. It's crazy how much better I got. So I said, did I say I practice it frequently? So I checked, and the last time I did this lesson was 6 years ago. It should be done more frequently, I guess, so we don't lose this reversibility to come up from lying supine on the back to be propped up against the elbow and eventually the hand. And when you do this, you can come up into a side-sitting position. And we have a left side and a right side. Most humans have that, haven't seen anyone else yet. And with a third side or a fourth one. So we can do this to the left and to the right. And for me, the left side was much better than the right one. But during the course of the last couple of hours, so I played with this movement, so I got a lot better, fortunately. And I learned how to engage my muscles somehow to come up. So it's not anymore a rolling movement, but it's kind of like a side sit-up, but it's not like a sit-up or a crunch. I still work with my body organization to come up. And the reason why I'm talking now, what I want to tell you is when I have classes, let's say there's 10 people in the room, or there's one person in the room. So in classes, in live classes, I don't show the movements like I do in the videos. Please continue with your practice. Focus and listen. Move and listen. Listen to me while you're playing with the movements. So these are our 3 movements. I hope you are already practicing. Come from one side to the other, and you can go from the right to the left and roll up from one side to the other side. And if it's not entirely smooth, make it slower and smoothen it out. So when I'm teaching like, do this, I wait a little bit, do this, do this. So I see that everybody, I watch out that everybody listened and understood me, like heard my voice, understood my language, and started, so I can see the movement. And then I give cues. What could they feel? What could they sense? How could it be? What variations are there? What did they not find yet? For example, yes, and the next one, and next one, next one, next one. And I think long time before, it was more instructions and less cues, less what can you feel? And it's a kind of a fashion to tell people what they could feel, what they can feel out for. So this is the movement. You are on your back, you roll up to lean against your elbow. That's the movement. And then you can, when you have to turn the head, and if you take your head too late, it's hard to come up. If you roll too far to the left, it's hard. And it's like, and there got to be another way to do this. There got to be another way to teach this. And this is why I really appreciate this video series. So I can break up the movement. So we did part of the lesson yesterday. You could start to play with it yesterday, and now we review it and continue. I give you more suggestions, what to do, how to build upon what we did yesterday. But you had like a day in between, or because it's a video, you could have like a week in between, or a month or a year in between, and play with these movements. Are you smooth already? You can just watch, or you can move, and you will notice stuff. And so first you can improve on your own, but also you can think of your own, and that's the most important thing. That you can think of your own, that you have your own, you feel competent, competency, you feel you're exercising your competency. Yeah, you're feeling your competency, you feel like, you are doing this on your own, you're discovering on your own. You can watch other people, with other people, you can watch them discovering stuff. So you have like how is it called? Autonomy, a longing for your own autonomy. That's something new in history. We didn't always have this. And we have a long development as a human in a scientific worldview. Think of the bicameral mind. Like before, our mind was totally different. Before, we could hear our thinking as if it was a different person. So that's one of the theories. And only in the last couple of, I don't know, 10,000, 100, I don't know. But it changed so that our thinking seems to be our thinking and not somebody else's thinking. Is it? Yes. And in classes, I see people are doing the movements, but I don't see they are rebellious. I don't see that some people are rebellious and they protest with sleeping, so they feel like, it's nice to sleep, and then they sleep. And some people, they do other stuff. But I think it's not rebellious enough. I think you can be much more rebellious, not only rebellious, but in a meaningful way, taking your own time to study something, to learn something, break out of the given structure. Okay, we have a structure, so we know if somebody is learning the piano, he will probably have this and this progress. and then there's deviations, and the same as with these movements. So when you start to learn these movements, probably you have a certain pattern of learning and a certain time frame, because we have a lot of knowledge. We have seen a lot of people going through the same learning situation. I know some are slower, some other. But I think it's still not a mold. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you have to be standing upside down now and have your feet over your head. But just your own ideas, your own thinking, your own experiencing in this movement. So, what to do with the legs? Do you push against the floor with your legs or not? And let's remove the legs. Please come onto your back. Please come on your back. This is more like a lecture than a practice of my own. Point both arms, both hands towards the ceiling. And instead of having your legs long, please raise your knees off the floor. So have your knees kind of pointing towards the ceiling. And let's start with the left. Let's go to the left side, because that's where the camera is. That's where you can see me. So let's continue with the same movement. So let yourself roll to sit. So you could just fall over to the left side. And I want you to notice all these things. So I can give you cues, like when you move your left foot, your left leg over in your hip joint, there's a movement in the hip joint. So you have the weight of your left leg to your left side. And then when you move your right knee a little bit to the left, eventually there will be so much weight on your left side that you will drop onto your left side. And to come back to the middle, you just have to have a movement in your hip joint, or like a slight roll, until so much weight is over to the center that you just roll on your own. Can you feel that? I want you to feel. I want you to improve your skill of feeling gravity, of feeling your movements, of feeling your thinking, of being aware of your thinking. So it's an awareness practice, a mindfulness. I don't know what this word should, mindful. Yeah, that's an English word, I guess. Mindful. Hello? You be aware of when you shift your weight, when you're playing with your balance, when you shift your weight, how this affects your position. How a shift of weight affects your position in this world towards like the center of the earth. That's where gravity is going, or gravity is at least going downwards and not upwards. And that's what we work with. And the bones are not a scaffold. The bones are not a scaffold. We are not a building. We are not a machine. Maybe you can say we are a biological machine, where like the image we have of ourselves goes with science. So some people think the bones are, but they are not. The bones are floating inside the muscles. And the closest image we have is a biotensegrity structure. That's the closest image, but maybe it's something entirely else. So please take your legs out of the equation and come from your back into side sitting on both sides. Sides, left and right. And make it reversible. How to coming up is easy, but how to go down without falling down like a tree that was cut off the, bomb. How to go up and remember what you did, so you can come down in the exact same. There's the angle. It's here. It's here. The seesaw movement. It's here. there's other positions as well. So you go from one side to the other. Side sitting on one side, and it's a smooth transition, smooth, 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 until you're on the other side up, and then you go down again. So you're up again. And you can go wild if you have a lot of space. Go down and go up, and eventually stop bringing your head down on the floor. Just keep your head up and go from one side to the other, and you can even do circles, and that's all things you can discover on your own. You come up and down without bringing your head down. And you have your legs like this, and then you have your legs like that. To one side and then the other side. And take breaks whenever you want, whenever you feel like it. And then there's many ways to go from here. So you could come further up onto your knees. So you come from lying supine, you roll over your side until you're in side sitting, and from side sitting you come onto the knees. So this part requires good knees. If you have a torn meniscus, if you have knee problems, this might not be a good idea. But if your knees are okay, you can easily explore how to make it smooth to come up onto your knees and go down on the other side, and make it reversible in any moment. Until you feel like you're just rolling over your mid-back. You don't even touch your shoulders anymore to the floor. You can come up onto your knees easily and go down on the other side. Yeah! So it can be fun, it's serious, because this movement, it's an important movement to be able to come up from lying on your back to standing. And that's one of the many ways to do it. Okay, so let me change the camera position. Like this, okay. Okay, and then come up over one side in side sitting. You can come up onto your knees, and then we had this 8 videos ago, to come from standing on your knees, come up to standing. So this should be smooth if you practice with me. So if you already practice with me, this should be super smooth. There's other ways to come up. So you could roll up and put your feet already, like, you know, come into this side stand, and then how to go down. Where's the place to go down and to come up? All right? Now it's getting hot. I'm sweating. Yes, I think we did a lot today. I think we went through an experience here, a learning experience. This was a learning experience. I hope you got something out of it. And practice on your own. Have your own ideas, have your own thinking. Be a little bit of a rebel. Stick with the structure and learn more about yourself and about what you can do. What's your possibilities in movement, okay? Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. I'm grateful for any help, for your connection to me, for your comments and your likes and your donations. Very important. And see you in the next video.